everyone. Welcome back to Banter with Brooke. My name is Brooke Polis. I am the host of this podcast, and this is my 1 year episode. Woo! I am so grateful and happy and blessed. I cannot believe this episode marks 1 year since I've started this. There's 52 weeks in a year. This is my 52nd episode. And I have a special episode for you guys today. This episode is going to be, as you can see from the title, a year's worth of advice. So if you know, if you've been watching me, at the end of each episode, I give you guys a little piece of advice, a positive quote, piece of motivation at the end of each episode. And for my special 1 year episode, I combined all of my advice segments from all of my episodes before and combined them all together. So hence the title, A Year's Worth of Advice. This episode is going to be all of my advice or positive quote segments from each episode, and I hope you guys enjoy. My goal through this podcast is just to inspire people to do something I enjoy doing, to leave you guys just with something to think about, something to laugh at, something to make your day a little better. And that is my goal with the advice segments at the end, is just to give you guys a little piece of information to better your life in some way. So without further ado, here is a year's worth of advice. Now it is time. Imagine. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys the little quote I have for the little positive message at the end of the episode. So this quote is actually a quote that I had on my bedroom wall when I was it was probably from like 8th grade. And then I think senior year, I redid my room. So for about 4 years, I had this on my wall. And this is the quote. It's, be crazy, be stupid, be silly, be weird, be whatever, because life is too short to be anything but happy. And it's a little bit cringe and cheesy, but it just really resonates with me. It resonated with me then, but it resonates with me even more now, I think, because starting this podcast, for example, like people that know me and people like in my hometown that I went to high school with probably are going to see this and think I'm stupid or crazy or weird. But like the quote says, life is too short to be anything but happy. Like if this is something I want to do and it's going to make me happy, do it. And that's same for you guys. If there's something in your life that you want to do, but you're just afraid of what other people will think, or people will think you're crazy or stupid, literally, who cares? You cannot live your life for other people. Otherwise, you will be miserable. Don't you forget that at the end of each episode, I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice based on what the episode was about. So this piece of advice I have today is also a quote. And there's a massage place in the town that I live in, and I've only gotten one massage in my life. And it was at this place, and in the lobby of the massage place, I don't know what the fuck massage, it's not a store, whatever, the place, they had a little jar of positive little messages and quotes, and you could just pick one at random. And I picked one, and this was literally like over a year ago, and I still keep this quote in my purse because I think it's really an important one. So here is the piece of paper. The quote is on the paper, and it says, believing good things might come out of bad times doesn't mean that what's happening now doesn't hurt. And there's another part to that, but I just want to unpack that part first. So believing good things might come out of bad times doesn't mean that what's happening now doesn't hurt. So obviously, let yourself feel whatever emotion you're feeling in the moment. It's not healthy to just brush things off, but you can still acknowledge the fact that this situation was meant to happen to you for a reason, and it was meant to teach you a lesson and meant to help you in some way, shape, or form. And it still hurts, and acknowledge that it still hurts, but you can still believe that it was meant to happen to you for a reason. It's either going to help you grow, it's going to teach you a lesson, something. And then the second part of it is positivity isn't a panacea, but it helps. And I didn't know what that word meant, panacea, so I looked it up, and it means, well, I looked it up when I first got this piece of paper, and it means a solution or remedy for all difficulties. So it's saying positivity isn't a remedy or solution for all difficulties, but it helps. And that's exactly what I kind of want you guys to get out of this episode is obviously life gets in the way and life happens and it's normal. No one is happy 100% of the time. And it is normal to have bad days. It is normal to be upset sometimes. And you should allow yourself to feel those feelings. But implementing these things into your life will help. It's not a remedy for all difficulties, but it helps. To end this episode off, this advice goes about what I said about being a people pleaser. This quote, and I will put it on the screen. Here you go. Okay. If you wanted to take a screenshot, that was what that was for. The quote is, "You don't have to act like someone you're not to be accepted by others. Be yourself, be unique, and you'll find the right ones." Which that's like exactly what I want you guys to get out of that is like, and also acting who you're not. That's how you'll also find the bad friends because you're not being your real authentic self. And when I said like I would do things just to make my friends happy, even though it didn't align with my morals and what I wanted to do, you do not have to do that. You do not have to act like someone you're not to be accepted by others. And that is something I've realized now so much. And if you're younger and you're watching this, please start doing this now so you don't realize it when it's too late. I mean, nothing's ever too late, but just I want you guys to have good friends for as long as you can. So please don't be fake to yourself. Stick true to yourself and your morals. Don't change yourself for other people because those people suck and you don't. So keep being yourself. You don't need to be accepted by people, especially if they're shitty ass people. Don't just do what they want just so you can be accepted by them. Who cares if they like you, especially if you're in high school? High school, like not status, like popularity and stuff, like that does not, it feels like it matters when you're in high school, but I promise you it doesn't at all. If you just are hanging out with the popular kids and you're acting not yourself just to fit in with them, I just do yourself a favor and stop, because who cares what the popular kids think about you? What even is being popular? Like, just be yourself and you will find the right ones. When you start to live fully for yourself and do everything for yourself, you will, that's when good things and the things that you want and the things that you deserve will start to come to you. Like I said, don't body shame. The piece of advice I actually have for this episode, because like you guys should know by now, I am going to give you guys a little piece of motivation or a quote or advice based on what the episode was about. And the quote I have written down, I will put on the screen. Okay. The quote is, "Treat people with kindness. We're all going through a lot." And that's just a blanket statement for everything. But I thought this was fitting for this episode because of all those horrible things people said to me. Like, obviously, you know, the golden rule. At least I always learned this in my elementary school. They always preach this, the golden rule, the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And that's literally just it. Like, period. That's what you need to do. So treat people with kindness. We're all going through a lot. Literally, me, when people would saying all those things to me, I was going through so much mentally and physically. Like I personally was going to all these doctor's appointments, all this stuff, trying to figure out why I was gaining weight so fast, why I was doing all this. Like I was going through my own like personal and like friend struggles, all this stuff. And people are just ruthless and they just don't think before they speak or think before they act. So highly suggest you guys do. And don't be a rude person. Treat people with kindness. Time for the advice segment. You guys know I give you a piece of advice, piece of motivation at the end of every single episode. And since this is my first guest episode, I want Matthew to give you guys a piece of advice.
All right, it's going to come back to you in 5 business days. Okay, no, I'll think of something on the spot. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Here it is. Do what you plan. Oh shit! I was gonna say do what you plan to do, and that's horrible.
No,
Do what you set your eye. Oh my goodness! Do what you want to do. Do what you need. Do what you gotta.
Elaborate.
Do what you have to. Do what you want. Do.
Bruh. Come on.
Yeah, this isn't it.
Really?
Do.
How can you not think?
Okay, here's my piece of advice. Do what you planned to do. Because typically people always want to do something and then they don't always get around to it, or they change plans, or they procrastinate or whatever. But I guess you just have to have like good focus, because like sometimes you'll have plans with like people, or to do homework, or do this, and you'll stop like what you were gonna do to do something else, and you'll just like do it later maybe, or it might mess up your sleep schedule, this, that. Like just do what you planned on doing when you wanted to do it. Like just essentially, I guess, to get your priorities straight, like each day. That's about it.
And here's the cover of it again. If you guys wanted to see or take a screenshot, I highly recommend this book. And my piece of advice and quote for the end of this episode is actually a passage from this book. And like I said, I am barely even in the book, so it's not very far in, but part of the passage I wanted to read, it says, "Just being ourselves is the biggest fear of humans. We have learned to live our lives trying to satisfy other people's demands. We have learned to live by other people's points of view because of the fear of not being accepted and of not being good enough for someone else." And that literally encompasses all that I've talked about, I feel like, in this confidence and personal growth episode. Is literally like, people are so afraid to express themselves and be themselves because we have learned and been told our whole lives to satisfy other people's demands. We have learned to live by other people's points of view because of the fear of not being accepted and of not being good enough for someone else. Like our whole lives, ever since childhood, we've just been told the rules and told what to do. And like, we have to live by those demands. And it's like, there is more than one right way of doing things. And I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that more. I can now go into the piece of advice / motivation that I have for you guys for this episode. It is because, like I said earlier, this time of year isn't the happiest for everyone. And I understand that and feel that. And also, like I said, too, what Christmas... Sorry, I burped. That was so disgusting. Like I also said, Christmas means to me is just like joy and happiness and laughter and family time. So this quote I found says, "It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful." Let me say that again so y'all can really process it. It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful. And I just loved that so much because I feel like people think that you have to be happy, like in order to be to be grateful. And I feel like also when you are not happy, you always think about the negatives. And so I feel like when you have gratitude and you're grateful, that is what makes us joyful. When you think about the little things that you are grateful for, like literally, if you have some friends, access to food and water and a roof over your head, you're doing better than a lot of people. Like there's so many people that are homeless, don't have clean food, water. Like be grateful and happy that you have that because people don't have that. And so, gratitude is so important. And so that goes into my piece of advice for this episode going into the new year is to just set intentions and goals for the new year. I think the concept of New Year's resolution is a little bit weird. And I also think people just set unrealistic goals and then think they're going to stick to them. And then they don't. Like they have such a big, for New Year's, I'm going to do this. And it's something so unrealistic that you can't do. And also the winter is the time when the body's like resting and everything. Like honestly, to do like a major thing would be like into the spring when everything starts to bloom and everything. But I don't think also you should wait till New Year's to like do something for yourself. Like you don't need to be like a New Year's resolution. I think you should just set goals and set things you want to do any time of the year. But this episode right here, the quote I have, which I'll put a picture right now, is the quote I have is, "The journey is more important than the destination. The time is going to pass anyway, so you might as well choose to enjoy the process." Let me read that again. The journey is more important than the destination. The time is going to pass anyway, so you might as well choose to enjoy the process. Which that literally goes along with like, you need to live in the now. Like the journey, like doing the steps to get to where you want is so important, like so much more important than the destination. Like you just need to put in the effort, put in the work. Like the time is going to go by. Or like people also, if you're like worried about the future too much, like the time is going to pass. You can't do anything about it. So you might as well just have a positive mindset and do things you enjoy. And that will make the process and the journey way more enjoyable if you just try and be positive and fill your time with things you enjoy doing and things that give you purpose. Since you watch my podcast or you watch some of them, we do a segment at the end, advice or motivation or something that I want to tell the viewers to leave them with a positive thing to think about at the end of each episode. So since you are my guest today, the floor is yours. Give the listeners a piece of advice or piece of motivation, whatever you want to tell them.
Okay. Just because I'm just going to come up with this real quick, so I'm just going to say this. People who are religious, they call it their praying and their prayers being answered. People who are spiritual call it manifestation. People who
Stop jiggling the mic.
don't believe in anything call it like placebo effect or luck or whatever. But it is truly that, like, you just need to believe that and let yourself be open to the possibility of the things you want coming to you, and put in the work and think about, just put in the work for what you want. And that's kind of what, like, exactly what Matthew said last time. But
Not really. Not really. That's not what he said, but
like, just, yeah.
Amen, sister, to that. Because literally, like, I said this in my last episode.
Because I'm an atheist and I don't believe in manifestation and I don't even believe in that stuff. But obviously, what you try to do, what you want to do, what you are aiming for, if you don't try at all, if you don't believe it's possible, if you don't let yourself be open to the fact that it could happen, then it's not going to.
I agree. Literally, that is like what I mean. I am spiritual and I do believe in like manifestation and stuff, but genuinely, I said this on my last episode, how like nothing matters because we're literally on a floating rock. Like nothing is even real. Like we are literally all, I believe, like part of the universe. Like we are all like everything.
I agree.
And it's like we create our reality, like by the things you do, by the things you say. So literally, like if you want to do something and you are actively taking the steps to get there, like you literally can. This episode, the piece of advice I have for the end isn't related to the episode because this episode was kind of just silly and didn't really have any deep, meaningful like purpose to it. But the advice I have is, which I'm going to turn it deep because that's just me. And I'll put it up on the screen. And it says, you will end up where you need to be with who you're meant to be and doing what you should be doing. So keep going. And that kind of goes to the last one I just answered. Like if I could have any job I wanted, or what would I do if money didn't matter, or all that stuff, like, or if I could become professional at one skill, what would it be? Like you will just don't worry about too much. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about anything. Obviously worry about some things, but like if you're stressed about like, oh, I'm so behind in life, or I don't know what to do, or, oh, I really hope this happens for me. I just feel like for me, and this is true for you guys as well, the universe is always on your side. If you talk to it, pray to it, ask it things, if you always have good intentions, like what you put out there comes back. I've said that also in another episode. So if you just always have good intentions and put out into the universe what you want, it is a cycle. It will come back to you. So if you're feeling stuck or behind, just know that everyone has different paths and different things, and everything happens for people at different times. So do not worry. You'll end up where you need to be with who you need to be with and doing exactly what you should be doing. So the advice I have for the end of the episode, I actually wrote 2 things down. Is the first one is, it is a partnership, and in parentheses I put no leaders. Like it is a partnership. No one should wear the pants. No one should, okay, well, my light just died. I need to be way better about charging that thing, but the podcast is almost done, so it's fine, right? Right. Just sorry that the lighting is a little bit bad for these last couple minutes, but I think like it is a partnership. No one is controlling the other. No one's doing this. You need to be on even playing field. Like someone who's controlling is so gross. Like you're not my parent. You're not this. Like we are a partnership. We are equal. We do things together. We support each other equally. So I think that's the number one advice. Your relationship should be a partnership. There's no leadership role. There's no who wears the pants. I think it's a partnership. Y'all should be equal. The second advice I had is, if they get mad at you every time you address something that's bothering you, let them go. And I think that is so, like, I can't stress that enough. Literally, like I said, when I was having problems with my friends, we talked it out and we're completely fine. I think if you bring up something that someone did that bothers you and they automatically just get defensive, don't even acknowledge that they did anything wrong, that you have to let them go. No matter how much you love them and care about them, you have to let them go, because that will just be a stress your whole entire life if you just can't even bring anything up to them without them getting upset or mad. My advice to you is, well, I kind of guess I just thought of another thing right now. So I have 2 things. Number 1 is to be aware of your surroundings all the time. And number 2 is to not believe everything you read on the internet. A lot of these things could be true, could be false. Nobody knows, but there is a lot of false things on the internet that are just trying to persuade you to believe one thing, or believe like one way is the right way, or anything. Just do your research, find credible sources from what you're looking up, and just don't stress about too many things you read on the internet, because you never know what's true and what's not. And the being aware of your surroundings, literally just always be looking around when you're in public. As soon as you get into your car, lock the doors. Another thing, like how people leave like zip ties or like random things on people's cars, or like if you see like a note in your windshield, like don't grab it, because like sometimes it could literally be like a scam. Like someone's waiting for you to grab that note, and then they're gonna like come up behind you or steal your car or something. Like that's probably not gonna happen majority of the time, but just always be aware and always just think about it, just because there is a lot of weird shit in this world. Like, and my advice for this episode is, if you just find the time to read every day and apply what you learn in real life, it can literally save you years of your life. And the posts that I saw that on like elaborated a little bit more, and I don't think you need to find the time to read every single day. I definitely don't read every single day, but I want to read more. It can actually save you years of your life. The post I saw, like this person read this book and it made him realize that what he was doing in his real life was not his passion, and he like was going to school for something and then he didn't want to anymore. And a book made him realize that like there's books about every single topic you can ever think of. And at the end of every episode I give the viewers a piece of advice or a little piece of motivation or something.
Okay.
And when I have guests on, when I had Matthew and Morgan on, I told them to. So now I want you to give the viewers, give the listeners a piece of advice or something positive, something to end off the episode with a happy thing and some advice, and look at the camera.
Just do things that you have to, and do them right. And I don't know anything else. Do it, like I say, do it right, and know what you're doing, and be positive. Stay positive. Yeah.
I would say that's great advice. So, and this isn't advice, but this is just a little positive quote that I wanted to share. And I just wanted to say that I hope something good happens to you today. And because the day I'm filming this, I had an absolutely great day today, very productive, happy, and I just wish that for all of you. And I just wanted to end this episode with just a positive message. So I hope something great happens to you today. I hope something great happens to you this week, this month, this year, and every day in between. I just hope that your life, something good happens in your life for you. My advice for you all is dream big and chase them. Chase your freaking dreams. Literally anything is possible. Like, I feel like if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Like, just don't ever give up on anything you want to do, because genuinely anything is really possible. And my positive little thing to end off the episode, like my little quote / advice, is express gratitude often and good things will always come your way. And that is my best advice to everyone watching, is the more often you express gratitude, not only like in your journal to yourself, but to your family, to your friends, telling them you're thankful for them, you're grateful for them, you love them, good things will always come your way. This is like my life motto, that the energy that you put out is what will come back to you. So all you people that are negative and depressed, then things are going to keep happening for you that are going to be negative and depressing. As soon as you flip that switch, which I know it's easier said than done, but I'm hoping that these podcasts that I'm making about how to live a more positive lifestyle, or this episode about gratitude, I hope they will give you guys a little bit of insight or like help to want to switch your mindset, don't think I forgot to give you guys the advice. My advice for this episode is to watch movies and TV that you like. And I actually looked it up to see, because I think there's benefits, but I want to like look up and see if like Google said there was actually benefits. And it literally said watching movies that you like provides encouragement, awareness, laughs, and bonding time. It relieves stress and you learn new things, which yes, all of those literally make sense. Especially the laughs and bonding time, like how I was saying, if you're like with your friends having like a wine night or something and you put on like Magic Mike or something, like movies literally, they're inspiring. A lot of them are inspiring. They encourage people to follow their dreams, do their thing. They teach you new things. They provide awareness, especially like the scary ones, like not the scary ones, but like ones like 13 Reasons Why and stuff, like gives like awareness of like what kind of things can happen. Like it is such a good thing. And whoever thought to like make movies and TV shows is so smart. Like give your advice to the viewers watching. It can be about anything.
I guess
There's that click again.
I guess just what I already said is,
say it to
just
them.
Be a good human.
Yes, that's it. That's
that. Yeah, just
what does that mean to you? What is being a good
just
human?
Be a good person. Be nice. Be thoughtful. Be empathetic. Be genuine. Just be, just and yeah. I guess that's it.
Okay, that's great advice. Everyone, please take that advice. Literally be honest, genuine, empathetic, all the above. My advice is just be kind and don't compare yourself to other people. Do things when you want to, how you want to, as long as it's not harming anyone else, because it's your life and you don't want to look back when you're old and realize, oh, I should have done this, or oh, why did I worry so much about what people thought? Like, just do you and be proud of what you do. And I also suggest you guys just like sit with yourself sometime and just have your late night thoughts and just think about things all to yourself, because it's really therapeutic just sitting with your thoughts and figuring them out. So give some advice. So give the viewers motivational quote, advice, whatever.
Okay. I was going to say something stupid, but I actually got one because this past week, everything's been breaking.
Okay.
Monitor, car, shower, knee, everything broke this week.
That's insane, actually.
I know, all in 1 week. Car and shower on the same day.
Wow. Horrible.
But
that's why you stink.
it's fixed now. I literally, what the fuck?
That was a joke.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but all that stupid shit that's happened, I've just been chilling because I know soon it'll be better. Like,
yes.
That was kind of a shitty way to say it. I didn't say it how I wanted to.
Okay, well, you can say it again.
I'm going to say it again, this time a little better. When things are down, just always keep your head up. Always keep looking around the corner because things will always get better. And the only way they will get better is if you go into it thinking that. Like,
advice.
Like, you just have to keep that positive mindset.
My advice that I have for this episode is to get help. If you are dealing with things that don't like need help, whatever, but I could not recommend therapy enough, or even friends, like confiding in someone, trying to, even if you help yourself, just try to get better and it will get better. And also another thing I wanted to do is bad things, like bad times always come and go. Like that's not really advice. My advice is to help yourself, get help, just do things for yourself that will help you get better, no matter if it's depression, anxiety, bipolar. If you're bipolar and you think you need to go on medication and it will help, do those steps and do what you need to do. But the little piece of motivation, I guess, is the bad things always come and go. Like if you are having, like when I was having terrible anxiety, when I told you I went with my friends to where they go to college and stuff, I was so anxious, like really, really anxious. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Why can't I calm myself down? And look, I'm here now and I'm doing great and I'm fine. Like, if you are in a rough patch, a rough period in your life, it is always temporary and it will always change and get better no matter, and it'll get bad again, and that's okay. Deal with that when it comes around, and it's fine. That is a part of life, having the ups and downs, to set a list of goals to get yourself right for the summer. So I just basically recommend that all of you go ahead and sit down and write out your plans and goals for your spring reset, because like I said, this is really the time that you should be setting your like New Year's, don't even call them New Year's resolutions, but this is the time that you should be planning your goals and starting new things, because the middle of winter, it's obviously hard to do that, but having goals and having things to work towards is like super duper important. And this time of year is just so happy and hopeful. And I wanted to add in my advice part. So one, go sober if you're thinking about it, because seriously, it is like the best decision I've ever made. Like I said, I feel like I'm so much more productive and I can get way more shit done. I'm way healthier. Like, now that I'm on my weight loss journey and stuff, I feel like if I was vaping or smoking and all that still, it would put a huge wrench in that. Also, like with my podcast and stuff, like I have way more motivation to do things now. And yeah, I feel like it's very beneficial in all aspects, physical, mental. It just, if you really have been debating or trying to get sober, if you're trying to get sober, keep going. I believe in you. You got this. You can get help so many different ways. Surround with good, but like peer pressure is like the grossest, ickiest thing. Like, do not surround yourself with people that like force you to do things or like tempt you or like, oh, just do it. Come on. Because it's like, that is not cute. That is not it. You should not be around, especially if like, you've told them you're trying to get sober and they're like, oh, just do it. Like, you don't want those type of bad influences in your life. You want people that are going to support you in bettering yourself and doing all of that. So surround yourself with good people. My advice for this episode, I have 2 pieces of advice. Number 1, my advice for the men. Men, y'all need to do better and educate other men, because like I said, I know there's good men out there. The ones who are good, the ones like, if you hear your friend saying some goofy shit, be like, bro, what are you saying? Like, so many men make comments about women's bodies constantly, make comments about like just the way they treat women, the way they act around women, the way like just men, keep your friends in check. Keep your fellow men around you in check. And women, my advice for y'all is to raise your standards. Like, because like, you do not need to put up with the bare minimum. So many women I know, I feel like, are in like relationships where it is not all that for real. Like, they're not in good relationships, if I'm being honest. Like, a lot of the people I know that are in relationships, like, y'all are actually putting up with the bare fucking minimum, but they like think that's what they deserve. Like, they think that like it's good. It's like, oh, he did this for me. I'm like, he literally should do that for you. Like, that's like what, anything you want to tell the viewers, it doesn't even have to be necessarily advice. It could just be like a little positive message, a piece of motivation. Just,
sorry.
What did you just do?
I just broke my neck, but
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, a piece of motivation, positive advice.
I'll let them know.
One day or day one?
I get it, I think. But elaborate if people don't get it.
So, when you want to reach your dreams, do you say one day or day one? So if I wanted a motorcycle, I wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to get it one day. I'm going to say it's day one of achieving a motorcycle.
Period.
So one day or day one?
Yes, I love that. Did you come up with that?
No, I stole it 100%.
Because I've never heard that, but that's really good.
And then this is from Tupac. Realize, real lies, real lies.
I don't even know what the fuck. Wait, so real?
Real eyes,
Okay.
realize, real lies.
Ooh, okay. But yeah, my advice for this episode is to trust your gut and be cautious and smart when befriending new people. Just because there are a lot of good people in the world, but there are also a lot of bad, horrible, fucked up people. So just when you go out, when you just always be aware of your surroundings, like as soon as you get into your car, lock it. Maybe carry around pepper spray with you or any type of like weapon in your car or something. Like it's good to just always be prepared. I mean, obviously don't live life in fear because things happen out of your control and you still need to live your life and have fun and do things, but just always be aware of your surroundings and also like trusting your gut when befriending new people. Like if you meet someone or if you're in a situation and you're getting bad vibes, like you just feel off about the situation, trust that feeling and stay as far away from that person as you can. Yeah, my advice for this episode is to go back and watch old YouTube videos that you like because it just brings back such a good nostalgic feeling and just reliving those moments, like how you felt as a child. Like go back and watch some Team 10 videos, which I actually have not done in forever, or like I love going back and watching like old Tana Mojo story times, old Kian and JC videos, especially. Like I was saying earlier, like if I ever just need a good laugh, I know for sure that I'm going to go watch some fucking Kian and JC videos. To don't take time for granted and to just hold your memories close. Like I would encourage you. That was disgusting. I'm so sorry. My ass hurts on this chair. I would really, really encourage you guys to, if you've never like asked your parents about like baby videos or you've never like looked back at like old videos or like pictures of yourselves, like go back and look at them and just like hold those memories close and like think about them often because like it just makes me feel so happy when I think about all of my memories and all the things that happened in my childhood. Like just don't take them for granted and just be grateful and don't take time for granted. Like you guys, like you will only live this day once. Like you can't go back and change the past and you can't, like you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So just like live in the moment right now because like my little piece of positive information, my little, it's not advice really, is don't take life too seriously because this episode I was joking around a lot. I was making funny comments, all this stuff. And literally I feel like people just get so wrapped up in their day-to-day problems, day-to-day stresses that they just like forget how carefree life really is. Like there is so much to do and so much life to live. Like life is so unserious. You can do whatever the fuck you want. There's like, because people think so badly like that you need to like go to college, do all this stuff, and it's like there's people who are making it by just fine. Like there's like such niche jobs. You can literally do anything you want. I have 2 pieces of advice for this episode. The first one is to be a good person and don't judge others for their opinions. Like that is just baseline everything. First of all, you know the golden rule that you learned when you're like a literal fucking child. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Like, why the fuck are you treating these people so horribly because they have a different opinion than you? Like, I'm sorry, fucking grow the hell up. You're so, and it's like grown ass men too that get the most mad. It's like, why are you acting like a child? Grow the fuck up, seriously. So I just think, like I'm saying, I am pro-choice, but I don't fucking, like, I'm not gonna like go up to someone who's pro-life and be like, oh fuck you, start yelling at them. Like I was saying earlier, someone else's opinion on things has nothing to do with me. So I'm just gonna live my fucking life the same as I would if I didn't know that other person's opinion. You know what I mean? Like, and my second piece of advice would be to be your own person and don't have an opinion just because someone else does. I think a lot of people now, especially, like, want to follow everybody else because they are so afraid of getting canceled. Like, cancel culture is so crazy. That's kind of another reason I wanted to film this, is because, like, my advice for this episode is that life, literally, you guys, like, it's so amazing. And you can all, I'm pretty sure I've said something so similar to this from one of my other pieces of advice, but it is like the main thing I live by. And it's just literally, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, it is amazing to be alive. You have all the time in the world. Like, nothing is ever too late. Like, if you have something you want to do, just be consistent, put your mind to it, and start doing it. And if you're somebody that doesn't like your birthday, I would recommend that you flip it around and start thinking of things that to be grateful for. And if you have shitty ass friends on your birthday, that's literally a reflection on them and not you. And you can still have equally as much fun alone, do things for yourself, go to all the places that have free birthday stuff. Like Dunkin', I think, has free birthday stuff. Like, there's so many businesses that like give you free things on your birthday. Like, you could still make that, you can still make it fun. I end all my episodes with a little piece of advice, a little piece of motivation, a positive quote, anything just to leave the viewers with something good at the end of each episode. So when I have guests on, I let them decide what it could be based on what we talked about in the episode. It can be based on just a thought you have. Give the viewers a piece of advice.
All right. I don't know if they're ready for this one, so they better be ready.
Put your seatbelts on.
Grab your paper, grab your pens. You ready? If you're going to do what you're going to do it regardless.
Okay. And give them a little explanation.
If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got.
Okay. I'm trying to get it. I get the regardless part, like regardless of what people think, regardless of anything, just do what you want to do. Is that basically it?
If you got an idea in your head, it came from somewhere for some reason.
Yes, I agree with that.
And that is not a lie. That is a fact.
Oh, I agree.
That's a fact. Every single time an idea comes into a human being's head, it is therefore from somewhere for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I highly suggest you act upon that idea. Even
you know what
if it
quote
comes out as a negative result? You did it, and now you got an experience to not do it again.
What fucking advice can I give on pop culture? Nothing. But when I said in the beginning that my 4th of July was amazing, I just want to say that literally manifesting is real and life is literally a blessing. Like, we are here for a reason. Like, I saw this TikTok earlier today, which I don't know what everyone believes in, and everyone believes in their own thing, but it's like we were a star, like wishing to like be a human. And I saw this one, I was like, you, and all the comments like, yeah, you were a tree, you wanted to be a woman. And it's like, someone said something like, it hurts or something. And the person who made the TikTok was like, yeah, it hurts, but like, it hurts. And then she put the second "it hurts" in all caps. Like, be so grateful that we are able to feel feelings and feel emotions and feel what it feels like to be hurt and be happy. Like, the fact that we are here, like, I believe that like our souls like chose where to go and who to be, and like we got put here. Like, life is a blessing, and the fact that we're here, and like every person you cross paths with, everything like is meant to happen how it's meant to happen. And like, life is such a blessing, and you have to appreciate and take in every single moment, the good, the bad moments, all of it. Whatever you want to say, whatever you feel like you want to say, it could be based on things we talked about. It could be based on something in your personal life, just any kind of advice or positive message you want to give to the viewers. Go.
I don't know. Well,
Well,
watch it
you
die
can-
before I.
no, it can't die because this might not save. So we need to.
I
You
think
can think for a
you
minute, but-
should communicate.
Valid.
Be yourself.
Yes, that too.
I have a little thing that I made that says originality, because if you're copying other people, which I do sometimes because on accident, like
And taking ideas from people is different than
Yes.
like.
No, like if I'm around somebody enough, like Matthew, I'll start acting like them on accident. Anyways,
that's
not what
fine.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's
about.
not copying.
I'm talking about be yourself. Don't try to fit in.
Yes, I agree. Literally, that is so. Because then everything in your life will fall into place that way.
Yes.
If you just do things for you and how you want to do it, then if you're trying to act like somebody else and living your life for somebody else,
Then you don't
that's
know you.
how
You go through
that
what's it called? I don't know. You go through
identity
something.
crisis.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And
That, and also
Yeah.
I believe in like everything happens for a reason. Like your life plays out how it's supposed to. So if you're trying to live somebody else's life and be somebody else, then the things that are going to come to you aren't going to be what's meant for you. You need to be yourself. But my advice for this episode would be to say your affirmations and meditate, people. Seriously, like I said, meditation is not just sitting there. No, you can do anything. Look up different forms of meditation. You can go for walks. You can pray. You can express your gratitude. You can go out in nature. You can do yoga. I forgot if I said that already. Do anything and meditate and say your affirmations. I already said this 6 million times in this episode, but saying affirmations changed my life, and putting out positive energy into the world has literally changed my life and made it so much better. My advice for this episode, because as y'all know, I give advice at the end of each episode, it would be to create your own top 10 list. Just do it for fun. Do it with friends. It's a fun like game to play. Like if you're all hanging out, be like, okay, everyone, let's say our top 10 this. Or it's also a good way to get to know yourself better if you just sit there and think like, what are my top 10 favorite foods? What are my top 10 favorite movies? Like, it's just a fun little game, and it's a good, if you're struggling with like your sense of self and like who you are and what your interests are, it's a really good way to get to know yourself. Just make different top 10 lists, and it's just fun. Like I had really a lot of fun coming up with these random. So if you have advice you want to give the viewers, a little quote you like, something positive to say at the end of the episode.
I don't know, just like always be yourself. Like, I don't know, I just never like let people like decide things for you or like make you do things. Like, I don't know, just like always be true to yourself and just do what makes you happy, because that's like your opinion is always like what matters at the end of the day.
As you ate, because that's on period. Literally do what you want for you all the time, because literally
Yeah, and
you're in control of your own life.
What else? Like you only live once, so it's like
YOLO! I don't really have advice for this episode, because my advice is everything that I've said throughout the episode. Take accountability for your fucking actions. Be self-aware. Know that it's okay to be wrong, but you need to grow and change from it. Hold yourself accountable. People can change. And everything is taught. If you had old ways of thinking that you don't agree with now, it is okay. Just realize that that is not who you want to be anymore, and grow from it. And I hope this episode can open a lot of people's eyes. And that would be my advice for this episode, is to reflect on your school experiences and to reach out to old friends. Because when I was sitting here thinking of like stories to tell, it's like it made me think of just like all the different people I talked to, and like all the people that you were friends with like in school but you never talked to or like hung out with outside of school. Like they were only like people you knew in school. It's like I wonder how those people are doing. Like, or even the people that you were friends with in like elementary school or high school or whatever age you are watching this, just like old friends, just reach out to them and like talk about old memories and stuff. It's so much fun. And I think it's so fun too to look back on different things that happened in school. And my little piece of advice from this episode, I have two. I want to say just a quote is music is okay. Actually, I don't think it's a quote, but isn't there a quote, something about like music, like something with your soul or something?
Why don't you say that one? That's fine.
Okay, well, it's not really anything, but I wrote down music heals the soul, because I feel like it does. And also music has such a big effect on like my emotions.
Yeah.
Like I literally started tearing up with that other song, but then when I fucking listened to Kodak Black, I'm like, hey, like literally the way like a song like, can change my mood is like crazy. And music really does. I don't know. Music connects people. It's everything. So, and my advice is to jam the fuck out, y'all. Listen to music as much as you can, anything you like, and don't let anybody say they don't like your music taste, because who gives a fuck? It's not their music taste, it's yours. So listen to what you want. And do you have anything to add? Any advice?
Every song sounds good when you put it next to I Love It by Kanye and Lil Pump. Remember that. Unless it's The Return of Chip Douglas by Kid Cudi. Showed me that, and it might be the worst song ever made.
Yeah, most songs are pretty good though, but yeah, that one's, he said, I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. And my advice for this episode is to, one, do everything I said. Don't be a hater, stay in your own lane, do your goals, all that shit. But my little positive quote that I have is, there is only one you. Going back to not comparing yourself, like you are the only you in the whole fucking world. Why would you ever want to compare yourself and be jealous of somebody else? You are you. You are one in a fucking million, bitch. Like you are awesome. And you need to realize that like there is only one you. So whatever you want to do, go out there and fucking do it, because you're you. Like that's just like, I love thinking about that. Like there is no one fucking like me. I'm the only one like that's like me. Yeah, you have similarities to other people, and some people are very much like each other, but there's no one that's exactly like you. So keep that in mind when you start to get jealous and start to compare all that stuff. It's like they will never be you and you will never be them. And that is the fucking beauty of the world. And my positive quote that I have for this episode is, make today count, because you'll never get it back. And that goes along with what I was saying about 5-10 years from now. You could be a day closer to your goal because you worked hard that day. You will never get this minute. You will never get this second. You will never get this day back ever again. This day, once it's gone, it's gone. So make it count, because you will never, ever, ever get it back. If you have something you want to do that day, get it done, because you'll never get, like, don't waste your time. I don't really have a piece of advice, I guess, for this episode, but I have another positive quote that I want to leave you guys with. It said, maybe my purpose is just to enjoy all these little moments. And I'm going to actually insert a picture of the like quote I found. And that is literally the purpose. What I said earlier, the question, what's the most important thing in life? It's laughter, love, connections, and just enjoying the present moment and the little joys of life. The little like moments of laughter with the people you love, a kind gesture somebody does for you. Just like if you're having like one of my favorite things is like a game night. I love having game nights with friends and family, and just we all sit together and enjoy each other's company and just play games and laugh. Like that is honestly one of my favorite things, might be my favorite thing in the world. So I recommend all of you to just take a step back and enjoy all of the little moments, because that is what makes life enjoyable. My advice for this episode, I looked up like quotes related to fall because I couldn't really think of an advice thing this episode, to be honest. And this really is deep, y'all. Listen to this shit. The trees are about to show us how beautiful it is to let things go. Like, I listened to that and that really resonated with me, because the trees are about to show us how beautiful it is to let things go. The trees let all their leaves go, and they're just like naked, no leaves. They're just like dead trees. And then when spring comes along, they re-bloom and grow them again. Like, and they become more beautiful and better than ever. Like, it is okay to let things go that no longer serve you. Those leaves are done. They don't serve that tree anymore. They let them go to make room for the new ones. And that is same thing for us. You need to let go of the things that no longer serve you, or that aren't lifting you up, aren't bringing you closer to where you want to be. You need to let those things go, because you need to make room for the new, more beautiful things. And I never really thought about how deep like that is, like the trees losing their leaves and everything. My advice for this episode is don't worry about the things you cannot control. And we all know that saying, we all know that quote, but it's for real true. So all these things that I'm listing, like, you can't control if somebody's making out right next to you. You can't control if somebody has their fucking brights on. You can't control if somebody's walking slow. I mean, you could tell them to pick up the pace, and you could tell them to stop kissing, and you could tell them to shut up if they're talking to you during the movie. But a lot of these things you can't control. So like if somebody's disorganized, if somebody's talking with their mouth full, you can tell them to stop too. But you know what I mean? Like, all these things are things that other people are doing that annoy you, but you can't control what other people do because they're their own person. So try not to worry and stress about it. Like, I don't think about these things ever, unless it's like really happening. Like if someone's talking to me during the movie in that moment, but I don't think all the time like, oh, it bothers me so bad. And I'm sure that's how it is for everybody's pet peeves. Like, everybody's not thinking about this shit 24/7. But maybe if it's like really bothers you a lot, just try and tell yourself like, you can't control, or you can't worry about the things that you don't have control over, because you can't change it. So why worry and stress and get annoyed over something that you can't change? So my advice for this episode is basically the fucking title is to let it go. Basically, that's my advice, but I'm just going to word it a little different, is to release the things that no longer serve you. I have gotten very spiritual these past couple of years, and literally just like I do like some cleansing breaths sometimes. You breathe in and you envision everything that you want and desire and all your things. You breathe it in, you hold everything you want flowing into your body. And then when you exhale, you're exhaling all the things that are negative that you have and things that no longer serve you and everything like that. And we do it like, I usually do it 4 times. I step forward with the right foot, breathe in, hold, envision everything coming in, and then out, exhale, everything that no longer serves me and is not good for me, exiting. And my advice is to be easy on yourself and love your body. Like I said, it is okay to not look a certain way, and you should love yourself no matter what, and love your body. Your body does so much for you. Your body allows you to live. Your soul is using your body to live this human experience. Your body is amazing. Your body is a temple. Take great care of it. That's another reason I want to be healthy, is because I want to take care of my body. And whatever healthy looks like to you, just do that. You are gorgeous. You are beautiful. You are worth it. You are amazing. No matter what you look like, no matter any of that stuff, you matter. You are awesome. Don't let social media's standards affect the way you look at yourself. Comparing yourself is the worst thing you can do. And like I said, all those celebrities, their photos are highly edited. They are so unrealistic. You are awesome. So it is time for my little advice segment of the episode, as I do at the end of every single other episode. And my advice is to never give up and don't take anything for granted. The never give up part goes to one Theo, because me talking to him about me doing this for almost a year and everything, and just being really inspired by him. And then also John Cena's advice that he was giving on Kai Cenat's podcast. He was talking about, because Theo's like, give the people, or not Theo, I'm just stuck on Theo. Kai was like, give the people some motivation, anything, like your best piece of inspiration or whatever. And John Cena was just like, never give up. And again, I'm going to not put it into the correct words, so please go look it up, because what he said, like, seriously hit home. Like, the way he said it, I don't know, it just really had an effect on me. And he was saying to just literally, like, if you have something you're passionate about, like, and then he was talking to AMP, because a bunch of the other AMP members were in the room, like Phantom, Chris, and Agent were also in the room. And he's like, and you guys are living proof. Like, look, you're out here living your dreams. Like, you can really make it happen. And so that is just so inspiring, because really you can have anything you want, and you need to listen to that. And I am listening to that as well. I'm never going to give up, and y'all shouldn't either. And the next part is not taking anything for granted. I was just thinking about that with Liam Payne and everything. Like, you just never know what can happen ever. So every blessing, every good thing, every bad thing in your life, every lesson that you learn, just don't take any of it for granted, because every experience that you ever experience makes you who you are. My advice for this episode is, do not let your fears take over your life. And I know that, and I'm not trying to say like everybody's fear is valid. Like, if you have fear of heights, if you're claustrophobic, if you have emetophobia, whatever it is, your fear is valid, but don't let it stop you from doing things you want to do or living your life how you want. Because like I said earlier, you only live once, and there's like ways you can get help. There's ways you can figure out how to control your fears and to cope with them, because life is too short to not do things because of your fears. Because a lot of times phobias are like irrational. Like, there's some phobias that are like things that you're afraid of that is just like, why is that? Like, it's not something that's like scary at all, which obviously it's scary to the person who has that phobia, but like, it can't hurt the thing they're afraid of. Like, it can't hurt them. It can't cause harm. It can't do anything, but they're like afraid of it somehow. Those are the types of phobias where like you can get help and you can try and do things to get over that fear. And I just want everyone to live their best, happiest, most authentic lives. So do not let your fears take over your life. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you take all of that advice I just told you and will incorporate it into your daily lives. My piece of advice for this episode is just to listen to what I said this past whole year. All of those pieces of advice are amazing and I stand by all of them. So I highly recommend you guys do the same and listen to me. But again, thank you guys so much. We're only getting started. 1 year down on my YouTube channel, bunch more to go. Seriously, I have so many hopes and dreams and so much more content I want to make. Thank you for all the new love, all the new support. Seriously means the world. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the post notifications on. Leave comments about anything you want. All my other socials will be linked in the description. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Love you so much. Bye.